Palestine's only friend can be the world working class. That's why we need to organize effectively.
Guess which border we're leaving to? We're leaving to Egypt! Egypt, the well-known democracy, of course, led by the 50
In Israel, I think ultimately until mass action is taken, until it can be organized on the basis of intifada with the Palestinian people organized and emboldened effectively, we won't be able to shake, Israeli society, right? I don't think that it's going to be able to be organized simply by Hamas. I think Hamas isn't capable of organizing that as such.
So ask the people. Ask them why they're here. It would be interesting to know. Most people are here for entertainment. They're bored. Most people don't believe in this stuff. I mean, again, it's pretty clear, The evil's being done, It's not about two sides over here.
Are you Trotskyites?
We are a Trotskyist group, yes.
Okay.
All we're doing is praying that all lives should remain safe, and that's it. I don't want to...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Over here. Okay. So, what do you guys think of Russia-Ukraine?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's an inter-imperialist war between the United States and NATO versus Russia. Of course, the Ukrainian people need to be able to defend themselves, but I have no real confidence that Volodymyr Zelensky or the rest of the Ukrainian bunch are going to be able to effectively do that in a way that will benefit the Ukrainian working class.
Jews for justice in Palestine, which is incredibly ironic because they are not supporting justice at all. What actually happened is this past Saturday was a Jewish holiday of Simchat Torah and Shmini Atzeret, which is a holiday where Jews are obliged to go and celebrate the Torah, the Jewish Bible, and Hamas, which is the people they're supporting, took advantage of that holiday, breached Israel's borders, and killed over 1,200 innocent civilians. In one town alone, they beheaded 40 babies. There's over 150 people held hostage. 22 Americans died in this attack. So this is not just based on the Israeli people. This is not just based on your religion. I mean, this is just based on religion. This is based on them coming in to commit terror. They came into Israel, they infiltrated our towns. There was mass rape, mass murder, mass kidnapping, mass mutilation of bodies after they killed them. They dragged them through the streets of Gaza, and the people of Gaza celebrated. This event that they're having today, they're calling it Day of Resistance. Rape is not resistance. Kidnapping little babies is not resistance. Murdering 1,200, or as of today in the morning, 1,300 innocent souls is not resistance. Then what they did has done nothing to help innocent civilians on either side of the conflict. And instead of addressing the facts and listening to what's actually going on the ground, these are a bunch of privileged people who do not know what's going on. Half of them have never been to Israel. They don't know the actual facts. They're brainwashed and they're here celebrating terror. No one was celebrating for Al-Qaeda after 9/11. No one was celebrating ISIS after their attacks in France or Germany. No one was celebrating them. But sadly, as Jewish people, this is what we faced for thousands of years. This is blatant anti-Semitism, and it's a shame that ASU lets it happen on campus.
In Islam, we are all about peace. We are not against any Jews. There are Jews who support Palestine. Why? Because Palestinian children are being killed. Kept in cages just for protecting their land. They can't flee. There is a border blocked in Gaza. They cannot flee. And if you cannot flee, then it's an open air prison. If you cannot flee, where are you supposed to go?
I think that we just need to be kind to everyone, and that's all I gotta say.
This is sort of the natural result of 75 years of occupation, oppression, etc. But I don't think that's necessarily the best way forward. I would recommend that you check out our statement. If you go to socialistrevolution.org, you'll find our full statement regarding Hamas.
Is it? Okay.
They're telling me that Jews control the media, that Jews control the U.S. president and the Senate, that Jews control the world, and that we're guilty and we deserve to die because we control everything. I told them, well, if we control the world, how will we let this happen? If we control the media, how will we let there be reports coming out where terrorists are being defined as militants and the death numbers are skewed and people aren't talking about what's actually happening? It's blatant anti-Semitism. That's what the root of all of this cause is, and it's disgusting that's happening here on campus, and it's making Jews everywhere feel unsafe.
We're all familiar with the ridiculous anti-Semitism against anyone critical of the Israeli state. Yet these same liberals stay completely silent yesterday.
And it's hard not to click on something that you see on Instagram or Facebook it says, here's a list of all the massacres that Israel has committed against the Palestinian people. But when being a Jewish man myself, when I repost something, I get called, I'm standing up for an apartheid state and stuff like that. It's a lot of propaganda and misinformation, and it's sad to see so many people so misinformed.
You guys are outnumbered, huh?
It's the story of the Jewish people.
Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Palestine will never die. Gaza, Gaza, don't you cry. Palestine will never die. When people are occupied, resistance is justified. When people are occupied, resistance is justified. People are occupied, resistance is justified. Apartheid has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Apartheid has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Apartheid has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Apartheid has got to go.
It's a terrorist organization who is building their bunkers under kindergartens, who's building their ammo bases inside residential complexes. There's nothing more the Israeli government can do. And by the way, it's a fact. It is a fact. BBC News reported it for the first time, but it's been happening since the beginning of time. Israeli army lets them know before they bomb a building. They drop a bomb, which doesn't do any destruction, but instead gives vibration to the building to let them know that building's about to get taken down. They send messages to their phones, to their TVs, to their radios, and they draw maps for them of where the strike zone is and tell them, please leave. We don't want innocent civilians to die. No Israeli wants that. No Israeli wants that. These people are supporting innocent civilians dying. That's the problem.
Would it be true though that no Israeli wants that?
No Israeli that I know, and I know many Israelis want innocent civilians to die. And that's a fact. I can promise you that no one in my family, and I have a very big family, nobody wants innocent civilians to die.
That is not us at all. We strongly stand in opposition to anti-Semitism, and it's important that we draw the distinction between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. In the United States, the Zionist movement is one led by.
On CNN, quote, "I don't think Israel can coexist with these savages." He elaborated further, "They have to be eradicated." Overnight, racist and fascistic rhetoric has become acceptable in liberal media circles. But worse than the rhetoric has been the follow-through. As previously mentioned, Israel has cut off all of Gaza's access to electricity, fuel.
The methods of mass revolutionary struggle must be anti-capitalist by nature.
You too.
Yeah, this is people that need to be protected right now. We don't need their filming.
What do you mean?
You need to go away.
They're putting a message out.
I think you need to really. This person is filming these people right now.
But it's a rally.
Is that acceptable?
They're getting their message out.
I mean, there's multiple people out there filming. There are, but they are all in line with SJP. This isn't like could be an invasion of people's space. These are people that are super under surveillance right now. Okay. I'll just start
I'm totally neutral. So I'm just putting up. I talked to those guys. I talked to you guys. Just putting whoever's message.
Sorry. On the net, nobody seems to they just want to sound what's up, man?
You a Marine?
I got out in 1970.
Why not? I was a Marine as well.
Oh, Semper Fi. What you mean was? You're still a Marine.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
inactive.
Yep. What do you think of Hamas or the attack?
Hamas are certainly freedom fighters. Freedom fighters have to resist by any means necessary. They've tried doing things in the United Nations. What has happened there? America continues to veto all the resolutions that come down. Resolution 242 said that land occupied during the Six-Day War should be given back. Israel said, fuck that. So we have to have a voice. You just can't suffer peacefully. You can't suffer peacefully. They tried everything they can. They don't have any choice. The consequences are horrible. Consequences are terrible. That so many Palestinians are dying. But I come from a history where black people have died for a hell of a long time, and we know something about that. Peace will prevail. We have to maintain hope.
Do you think other countries are going to get brought in? Iran or
I saw that America brought that battleship, I think the USS Eisenhower. The Ford. To let people know, do not get involved. They'll find other ways of getting involved. We're going to lose a lot of lives.
I support Ukraine 100%. I think it's terrible what Russia's happening there. I don't see how that's relevant to the current situation, but I mean, I understand that obviously it's another moral war that's happening, but obviously I support Ukraine personally.
Will have enough sense to tell Netanyahu, all right, call it off. Because you're using overwhelming force. No water, no electricity, no food. That's genocide. And the Jews know something about genocide because their memory goes back to World War II and Poland and Czechoslovakia, but they're doing the same thing now. Okay, see, I'm gonna have to go ahead and do some guerrilla shit here. And I've been asking them to speak, and they haven't done anything. So I'm going to do it after this guy. I'm just going to do it.
What do you think about Russia?
Russia and where? In relationship to Ukraine?
Ukraine.
I think Russia has a right to attack Ukraine. If you take a look at a map that shows the NATO countries on the western border of Russia, you see all those NATO countries. NATO's nothing but a lacquer for the USA. In 1963, America got very upset when Russia put missiles in Cuba. They told them, get them fucking missiles out, and they got them out. Now, here we're looking at missiles now pointing towards Russia, and everybody's supposed to be okay with that. No, you got to draw the line somewhere. Get rid of NATO, and then Russia will have very little concern about what Ukraine does. But as long as NATO has all the missiles pointing towards the western part of what it used to be the Soviet Union, they got a right to do what they do.
All right. I'll let you get in line.
Iran is a terrible regime. They helped plan out these attacks. They helped put everything together. I mean, look at what they're doing to their own country there. Mahsa Amini, that poor lady was beaten to death by Iranians' moral police. Like, Iran is a terrible regime, and they're backing the Palestinian movement, and they're backing Hamas.
They're even trying to protect the innocent people that live in Palestine. It's not that. This is not what they're doing. They're trying to make Israel look bad for some reason. They hate Israel, so they're trying to make it look bad, even though anything they say, like, they don't even know what's going on. I talked to many of them yesterday for 3 hours. They don't know what is going on in Israel. Most of them never been to the Middle East, doesn't have any connections, and they just want to feel like they're part of something, I guess. They don't care about the innocent lives in Gaza Strip or the West Bank. Because if they did, There are other things to do. I'm an Israeli. I lived in Israel 19 out of 21 years that I'm alive. I care about the innocent people that live in Gaza Strip. But there's a big difference between that and what they're doing.
No opinion. We stay out of politics altogether.
Oh yeah? Not interested? Let them fight it out.
We are politically neutral.
Politically neutral. What about the war in the Middle East?
Our focus is on God's kingdom, which will solve man's problems.
God's kingdom will wipe them out.
Will solve man's problems. Not wipe them out, but solve man's problems.
After a terrorist attack, you immediately put up a rally for Palestine. It's ridiculous. We can't stand for terrorism.
From Palestine to Mexico. All your laws have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. All your laws have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. All your laws have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. All your laws have got to go. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free.
People are occupied. Resistance is justified when 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 people are occupied.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
When people are occupied.
People are occupied.
Resistance
is justified. Resistance is justified. People are occupied. Resistance is justified.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free
Free,
Palestine.
free Palestine.
Free, 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 free Palestine.
From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Free, free Palestine.
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 Are occupied. Resistance is justified when people 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 are occupied. Free, free Palestine. Free, Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
we charge you with the time.
We charge you with the time.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine. Free, free
Palestine will be free. Ho, ho.
Ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
The occupation has got to go. The occupation has got to go. The occupation has got to go.
I mean, Iran's
allied with Russia and China. They're our enemies.
Correct.
They want to destroy they want to change the world order as we know it. They want to eliminate liberal democracy, and I think to side with them, siding with them helps to fight liberal democracy, and I don't want to live in a world without that kind of thing. I think liberal democracy has been pretty great. I think it allows us to have all sorts of freedoms that we've never had before liberal democracy.
Justice is on demand. No peace until Justice is our demand. No peace on stolen land. No peace on stolen land. Free Palestine. Free Palestine will never die. Free Palestine. 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 Free Palestine.